What is up, Packer fans, football fans, who's ever out there listening, guys? What is up? Green Bay Packer Jaire Alexander comes out and makes a bold statement. What does he say? I love what he says. Let's get into what he says. And I also want to talk about Jordan Love's performance, all of that and more in this video. But before I get into it, guys, take a second to subscribe. So let's talk about, what does Jaire come out and say? What's the bold statement he says? So he's quoted as saying, I think at this point, it's pretty obvious that the defense has to not give up any touchdowns. I think that's the part of being self-critical of our defense, because the offense is pretty young and they're still figuring out their mojo. So the defense, we got to do more to score and stop them from scoring. I love it. I absolutely love it. Kudos to Jaire, man, taking ownership and being like, hey, listen, our offense is incredibly young. The vets on the team are on the defense, right? This is still a very young Packer team, the youngest in the league, in fact. So, but the vets are on the defensive side of the ball. Guys like Jaire are saying, hey, listen, we need to do more. It's a call to the defense to do more. It's a call to himself to do more. It's a call to Joe to do more. And let's keep in mind, this is not a great, for this year at least, this is not a great offensive Raiders team or defensive Raiders team. Every team finds their stride at some point, but I'm sick and tired of everybody finding their stride against the Packers. Okay, so defensively, I thought they did very well. They came up with some key sacks on third downs to create punt situations for the Raiders. I thought overall, I was really impressed with the defensive performance. I know that Matt LaFleur came out and said, hey, listen, the defense went out and did what they needed to do. They only allowed 17 points. That's good enough for any NFL team to go out there and win. We need to do our part and score some points. So everybody owning what they need to do. I'm not expecting perfection. I'm not expecting for Jordan Love to come out there and look like four-time MVP, Super Bowl under his belt, as well as 30 years of just dominance and Hall of Fame performances out of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. I'm not expecting that. Nobody's expecting that. If you recall, Aaron Rodgers, his first year for filling in Brett Favre's shoes, he didn't come out. He came out and laid an egg. He didn't come out and look that good either. They finished third in the division when Aaron Rodgers is starting at quarterback his fourth season. So we can't expect for Jordan Love to come out and just absolutely kill it. We can't do it. Okay. So, but let's talk about Love for a second. Okay. So you got to keep in mind, he was without his key offensive guy, Aaron Jones, an absolute stud. He's a game changer on offense. He changes the way that they do things, the way that they run things, all of that and more. But you got to remember that in this game, Jordan Love, if you recall, he connects or tries to connect with Christian Watson. It's like a 50-yard pass down the field. It's perfectly thrown, absolutely perfectly thrown. Watson reaches out, doesn't bring it in. Okay. Another play that he throws pretty deep down the field was to Jayden Reed. Like the only time he targets Jayden Reed, super frustrated with how they've completely removed Jayden Reed from the offense. What's the point of having guys in if you're not going to use them? To me, it's just a mirage, because if I'm the defense, I'm like, okay, I've watched film for the last few games. You guys aren't even using the guys in motion. So I'm not even going to cover that. Okay. So super frustrated with the performance there. And the lack of using and utilizing their speed. They need to do better and get better. And maybe Matt LaFleur is like, hey, listen, we're depleted on our offensive line. We're just getting blown up. So we can't run a play like that just because. So then just take it out of this, okay? Because it just looks stupid if you're not going to use it. That being said, let's look at Jordan Love's 3 interceptions in this game, and let's just briefly talk about them. So his first pick, there's really no words to even say.
Third downs and fourth down as well on that drive. Down on third down, they have not been very good on. Love. Picked off.
Okay, clearly they run that play in practice, and he's used to just connecting on that play all the time, because that wasn't the case. He didn't even see the linebacker there. Just a terrible decision. he just had his eye on the prize and didn't see anything else around him. One of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. It was terrible. Anyways, let's go to the second pick.
He's got 4 tackles for a loss tonight. That's his first sack. Love protected in the air and picked.
Throws it behind Watson there. Another pick. So here's the thing. I'm going to just real quickly talk about Christian Watson. Christian Watson, I thought, did a terrible job of coming to the ball, going to the ball, pulling down defenders when he needed to. All of that. Watson did a terrible job. Yes, that ball is behind Watson. Watson needs to do a better job of, making an effort for it. But Jordan Love needs to connect way better on those mid-range throws anyways. He throws it behind Watson, gets batted up in the air, gets picked, not surprised. And then last but not least, the play we all hate to see.
4-man rush. Love, end zone. Intercepted. Good night.
Intercepted, good night. That's how he ends it. Listen, Christian Watson needs to pull the defender down, take the defensive pass interference there, do something. Show that you want to get the ball. You were set up in a decent position to where you just were falling back. I don't understand why, because he actually was open. So if Love would have thrown it, a few seconds, that's a touchdown. Or if he throws it 3 yards longer, that's a touchdown. We're having a different conversation. Then everybody's singing Jordan Love's praises. Listen, I'm not expecting Jordan Love looks okay. Okay. Yesterday, he did not look good, and you're going to have those growing pains. This is a young team. You're going to have to take the good with the bad with Jordan Love and their offense and all of that. Thankfully, they're in the NFC North. That's historically not great other than the Packers. That being said, who knows? Maybe they, post the bye week, they get some health back, but we're clearly seeing, I'm just hoping to see some positive things in stride for their offense for next year, all of that stuff. They've got to build the momentum. But who knows? Time will tell. Leave your comments, guys. Go Pack.